Okay, guys, welcome everyone to another episode of Vivek Talk Show, where I have got a good friend and a beautiful guest with me. She is a content marketer. She writes blogs, technical content, techno commercial documents, website content, and white paper. Her passion lies leading a spiritual lifestyle and encouraging the lives of many people around her. And guys, she is on a mission to help 100,000 people to create a life of freedom, leading the internet lifestyle, doing what they actually love, they care about, creating an income that will lead them to contentment, comfort, and the first 3 lakh rupees within 90 days. Welcome to the talk show, Priya.
Hi, Vivek. Wonderful being on your talk show. I've heard
Okay,
about your talk shows from many others, and this is indeed a great opportunity to be on one of your talk shows. Thank you.
right.
Thank
Okay, thank you so much. So, although we have been working together for a while, but I thought out of your experience of content marketing for so many years, like you have been writing, for a number of clients of yours in variety of segments. So I thought you can definitely add value to my young audience.
you. Right. Absolutely.
Cool. So the interview would be happening in two phases. Priya. First, I'll be asking few questions about your life and work, and after that, we'll have a quick segment of rapid fire. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Because of this lockdown, I can't give you a gift hamper, but yeah, I will add in my list. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So, Priya, the first question is, about your vision. I mean, what was your vision before you started your journey as a freedom lifestyle entrepreneur?
Uh, all along, I have had this desire. I have seen many students in colleges. There are colleges have mushroomed in so many smaller cities. I find students and students struggling to make a mark. So always it has been my desire to empower youngsters, housewives, disgruntled employees and executives working the 9 to 5 and not feeling happy. I wanted always to create a life of wealth and prosperity by sharing my knowledge with regarding the freedom lifestyle coaching business. I am today I'm actually able to do that, and I'm able to spread my wings into several segments, right? Because of the freedom lifestyle journey that I have chosen for myself. So my vision is ultimately coming true.
Awesome, awesome. Especially at these time where people have no other options, apart from to lead this kind of internet lifestyle. I'm sure the kind of value you are creating in your market
Right.
is amazing.
Right. Especially during coronavirus times, during and post coronavirus, when the economy is going to be hit very badly, people are not aware of how terrible the impact is going to be, because not just one nation, but almost all countries have been on lockdown. So, this coaching online business is going to be the number one business that will actually take people a very long way. So I would encourage all my followers as well as people in your circle, inner circle, to get into this bandwagon. Earlier there was blogging where people used to, if you know, people who got into this blogging bandwagon the day it started, they have raked in millions of dollars with affiliate marketing. Similarly, post coronavirus days, this business, that online coaching, is going to be probably the number one business, because not only are you going to be making money on a regular basis, you're also later going to be earning passive income by way of affiliate income. So I would really encourage people to jump into this bandwagon too. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm sure people understand the value of it, especially at these time. Okay,
Right.
Priya, what about your passion? I mean, how did you actually find your passion in writing? If you can, talk about how it started.
Mine is a bit of a strange story. I'm actually an engineer from PSG Tech Coimbatore.
Yeah.
So I started my career as a production floor supervisor, engineer, and then I moved into supply chain management. So while I used to coordinate supplies from the shop floor from my industry up to Beamtal and back to all the distribution points. So having done that for many, many years, my company, which was Forbes, had to shut down its manufacturing in Chennai. And when they did that, I had to move out into various sales and marketing jobs. While doing the sales and marketing, what I realized was half the times I had to create the marketing collaterals myself, create the PowerPoint presentations, create the emails, do all the written content all by myself, and then carry that written content, travel, showcase it to prospective clients and customers, and then convert that into business or coordinate with new, with existing suppliers, etc. But all along, I realized that my writing, since I was convent educated, I realized that my writing much had a huge value, and I didn't want to travel so much at one point in time. I wanted to stay put at home, be there for my family. So I ventured into something called technical writing. I did a course in technical writing, which needs an engineering brain with the skill to be able to write in layman's language, high funda stuff in layman's language. So technical writing allows you to write user manuals for software. So got into that. Later, I realized I didn't want to be, I didn't want it to become just like a tunnel vision with doing only technical writing all my life. So I also wanted to venture into all other forms of writing. So I got this opportunity where I started writing website content, and then I started my own company where today we write marketing collaterals, user manuals, website content. We create websites for clients. We do blogging. We do technical, semi-technical, as well as very, very ordinary, normal, everyday blogging too. So this is how I have evolved from being a shop floor purchase production manager to becoming almost a full-time content writer, content marketer, and today I'm on this freedom lifestyle journey. So that is how it has evolved, and I would say that I'm able to combine technology and my command over the English language, creating magic in our work. So today there is a huge lacune where engineers cannot write. I mean, how, I don't know if you've heard about it, but most of the engineers who are all the time creating software and user manuals, they're not inclined to write. Even in the shop floor where there is huge machinery, and the people who come to operate the engine or the machine, they have to understand the operation of that machine. Even there, a technical writer comes into the picture. So it's a very unique field where engineering knowledge and my command over the English are a great plus. So this is how we weave our magic on a regular basis.
Awesome. So the best takeaway, for me is the quest for, freedom actually help you to realize your, true potential and true passion of writing. And that's how you started inspiring your audience, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. Next question, Priya, is about blogging. I understand these days, it's all about videos and postcard, podcast, but blogging is the evergreen market. So if you can share, few secrets that how actually, what is the secret of doing, blogging online?
Content marketing, blogging online. The secret behind this whole industry of writing to customers online is, one thing is that with much lesser effort, you're able to reach a greater audience. So if you were writing for a paper or a magazine, your reach is only restricted to the subscribers of the paper or the magazine. So, but with social media being available, and with digital, and with the advertisements going online, today you can reach a much wider audience with digital content. So that is one huge advantage, secret of content marketing online. And the other thing is that the money that one has to put into this to reach a certain audience is much lesser. Anybody today can start a blog and reach a wider audience. The other thing is that there are enormous tools available on the way that help you to in your content writing as well as in your content marketing. So these are the advantages of content writing, content marketing, content writing online. And also the dissemination, while that's what I said, the reach is, when I say the reach is much greater, we mean that dissemination is so much easier. So let us say you have 1,000 friends and I post something on your wall, there is every likelihood that among your 1,000 friends, at least 20 or 30 would see my post. Similarly, if I am posting on my wall with, let's say, 3,000 friends, let's assume even 20, 30 random people are going to see every post of mine. My visibility online becomes so much greater, and therefore I always feel that content dissemination becomes so much easier when you're on a platform like digital.
Yeah, it's all about the visibility, and I believe, words
Right.
are the best mode of communication. Okay.
Right.
Now, since I come from sales background, so one question, about the financial part of doing content marketing. Uh,
Right.
yeah, according to you, how much money can actually small business owner or a, solo entrepreneur can expect to make in content marketing in first, 6 months to 1 year?
Right. Actually, it all depends on your investment potential and uh, your how you look, how you want to expand your business. So you could start with initially with a small team, but even with a very small team, if your output on a regular basis of high quality content, the important thing is that I emphasize high quality, non-plagiarized content is what is important. If you can provide that uh, with a small team, you could start with a small team as well, a team of 5 to 6 members. The regularity and good quality content, with this you could probably rake in 10 to 15 lakhs per annum. You could easily go, and if you, with expansion, you could go up to a crore or more in the content marketing field, because ultimately it is churn. See, when a customer comes to you, he wants this much of his content to be available to his customers on a regular basis. The more the visibility of your customer, the greater the chance that the customers will have prospects converting into his customers. So visibility becoming so important. Your role as a content marketer is to ensure that you provide quality, non-plagiarized content, well-researched content, which will help your customers in turn reap benefits. So there is no cap on how much a content marketer can make. So that, like in any other field. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So for beginner level, in first 6 months to 1 year, we can expect something close to 10 to 15 lakhs if we are giving the value, non-plagiarized content, and there is no upper limit, like you said, it can even go to crores.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Uh, what about the top three qualities that you see, content marketers actually need to impact their people online?
Right. Okay. Considering that today the entire population, almost 90% of the population is online, and that 90%, or let's say even 90% of the 90% are writing online. They're creating some content or the other. Content marketing itself has become a very competitive field. So how do you make a mark? How does one make a mark? How does one stand above the rest of the crowd? The first and foremost, most important point is that your articles have to be very well researched. The greater the research you put into your articles, the more value you're providing to your readers. That's imperative that you provide valuable content and well researched content. The second thing is that your content has to be original. You cannot just take content as it is from other blogs and other people and produce it as your own content. So you have to surely avoid plagiarism. The third point is you have to give impactful content that can actually help your customer. Today the watchword is actionable content. That is, I don't want to be just hearing theory. I want for myself to be able to move forward wherever I am. I want actionable points. I want actionable content. So impactful content is one other top quality of a good content marketer. And yeah, as a content writer, these are the qualities, but as a content marketer, you have to ensure that your content reaches the right audience. So you may have content that is meant for let's say for a e-commerce student, a youngster, but you're writing the content in a language that is meant for a CEO of a company. So it is not going to reach your audience. Your audience is not going to read your content at all. So it is imperative that your content is also written for your particular audience. So
Okay.
that is another.
So, all right.
Yeah.
So first, quality that you told was about doing proper market research to give the best value, and
Right.
the second part was to give original content to avoid, plagiarism. And anyways, that also affects SEO as well if you're copying content. So that is
Yes.
second point. And third point you told about giving actionable, content, not
Right.
some impractical theoretical notes which nobody can
Absolutely.
leverage. And one
Absolutely.
bonus quality also you told about, I mean, thinking what our target market, I mean, understanding
Right.
how they think and communicate in the same language. That was the bonus tip.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Uh, Priya, next question is about your definition of success. I mean, how do you see success and what is your success mantra?
Success for me is reaching the zenith of my business. I want to be on top. I want to be recognized as one of the top content marketers in the world. So, and being a leader in my field. My mantra for success is hard work, patience, diligence, and commitment to quality, which is, of course, the mantra of almost everybody today. But yeah, I mean, I would only have to opine their words. Hard work, patience, diligence, and commitment to quality. That's my mantra.
Okay. And we all, wish you best for that. And what about the top five tools? Like you're talking about the importance of tool in content marketing world. So according to you, Priya, what are the top, five basic tool that a person must have to become a, good content marketer?
Okay. When you say content marketing tools, they are the tools that you get online. They are multiple. They're like 200, 300 tools. So I am assuming that you mean each person what they should have as a top, what skills or what should a person own in order to become a good content marketer. I would again emphasize on exceptional language skills, research skills, a passion for learning, networking skills, which is very very important, and good understanding of the target market. So at the expense of repeating what I've already said, yes, that is, they have to have, so unless you have a passion for learning, you're not going to go in depth into a topic that is alien to you. See, let us assume you're asked to write about a topic which you're not familiar with. So sometimes we were asked to write a full a healthcare company in the US. They approached us. He was a dean of a college and he wanted to create this website for healthcare. In the US, what they do is that they create websites with, let's say, 200 articles of high value, and they would give it, the articles would have the certain doctors names and all of that. Once that website becomes popular and it starts getting several hits, and then one can add advertisements on the website, those ads as well as the website starts making money, they sell that as a property. A website in the US can be, or even in India today, a website is sold like you sell a property. So because of the
Okay.
number of articles that there are, and because of the popularity of that particular website. So we were asked to write on the medical industry, which we were completely a new subject. So hospice care or palliative care, which are all aspects of the medical industry which are only today coming into India. We were asked to write about 100 articles on a subject which was alien to us. So unless a writer has this enormous appetite and a willingness to learn something new and a constant thriving to improve their own knowledge and their own skill sets, he is not going to be a cut above the rest. So apart from language skills, apart from research skills, a passion for learning is a very very high, it's a skill that every person who calls himself a writer should possess. And the other thing is understanding of the target market. So who am I writing this content for? So what kind of research should I do? Should it be deep dive research, or is it enough if I, right now he is a student, is it enough if I provide him with the basics, tingle his need for learning, and leave it at that, or should I go deeper into my research? So again, these are all actually one within the other. One depends on the other. So if you
Okay.
have an understanding of a target audience, then you know what your language has to be, how much research you have to do. So these are all intermingled. So I would say these are the tools that an individual should possess as a content marketer. I hope that answered my question. If there's anything else you wish to know, then
Uh, Yeah, just to add on that, if you can share with us, what tools or systems, that you use to write blogs, in terms of to make it SEO compatible, or how you do your market research work, how you automate blogs, where you actually
we don't
post
automate
blogs.
blogs. Uh, yeah, we don't automate blogs as a rule. We don't use automated tools for writing the blog. So
Okay.
what we do is, let us say my client tells me, write something like, give me a topic. Okay. Which are the industries that will thrive post coronavirus? Let us say that's the
Okay.
topic. What we do is we do. I do have a class on writing, blogging, content writing, which those who are viewing this can probably take a class with me. But the thing is that we use that particular long heading, the entire heading. You Google, and then the minute you Google a heading like this, you're sure that you'll get the first page and the top 10. Okay, now
Okay.
I may have every writer, every one of us is born a thinker. We all have thoughts, we all have ideas. So the ideas that one has, I am sure someone else also has similar ideas. Whatever idea you have, believe me, that has already been written about. Okay, the minute you're thinking of something, that particular idea has already been written about online. So the minute you search for a particular keyword, you will find so many other authors who have written about the same subject. So what we advise our writers to do is to delve deep into other people's content.
Okay.
Read a lot, keep reading on that particular subject, and do not take content as it is into your writing. Please read, accumulate the knowledge, and then using a particular keyword, you can choose keywords from within each person's blog, do further research with that particular keyword, which will
Okay.
open up more and more content for you from research, further research. Sometimes you will get PDF articles, sometimes you'll go into slide share articles written by professors, etc., something like that. So once you have your content, when you start writing, the your writing has to be original. You cannot just take off lines, paragraphs from other authors and make it part of your content. So your every line has to be original. The keywords could be similar, they could be the same, it could be similar, but don't, if you bunch up a set of words from somebody else's blog, then that's going to be showing in plagiarism. So
Right.
plagiarism is when Google, when it is trying to place your content inside in SEO, in when it's trying to Google your content, or when it's trying to crawl your content, it is going to go over everybody's content over the entire web. And when it reads a phrase in your blog, which Google has already seen elsewhere, so it's crawling like you should think of it as a web, and it's
Yeah.
crawling. And if it is going to hit on the same set of phrases in somebody else's blog, then it's going to show up as plagiarized content. So neither you nor your clients would want to see plagiarized content for which you're going to call yourself the author. So it's imperative that you stay away from that. So for that, we use a couple of tools. We have Grammarly, which is a high-end tool, which also helps you correct your own language. But with Grammarly, you need a lot of patience even working with the tool, because it keeps showing up so many errors that you have to correct with the grammar, etc. So Grammarly is
Right.
one. SEO tools, there are free SEO tools which also allow you to check your plagiarism. Then there is something called Dupli Checker, DUPLICHECKER. That's a pretty good tool. It immediately shows up. It takes its own time, and then it shows up the other sites where your content is seen. So you can check plagiarism. Okay, if you have really not used somebody else's content, your content is original, but yet somewhere, couple of phrases have bunched up together and they are appearing in somebody else's blog. So what we recommend is you go to that particular place in your own content, change a couple of keywords there. You could interchange the look placement, or you right click on that particular word and use a synonym in its place. So that will help you get rid of plagiarism. So these are very, very simple ways to work around content. And I would say that content writing, content marketing are basically not, it is not like it's rocket science. So, you should venture into it. The other thing for content marketing, which exists is these tools that allow you to post on several platforms with one area being you go onto their hub and you post your you have your article or your YouTube video, whatever, posted in one area. It simultaneously gets posted in several other areas. Like Hootsuite is one of those very popular ones, where HOUTESUIT is the name of that tool. So they charge you on a monthly, yearly basis. So you can go and post in as many social media platforms as you want with the click of. So this effort of you, all you need to do is go into Hootsuite and integrate all your social media platforms into that platform. So you have to go and update your content only in one hub. So you can go to the hub, you can schedule your content. So other important thing that we ask people to do is schedule your content. So one is that you make sure that you write your content regularly, that you have content ahead. So if you want content for a week, don't start writing your content for Monday on Sunday afternoon. No, that's not a very good practice. So we ask, we advise people to have content ready much ahead of the time when they have to post. And also to schedule your content so that your readers have content coming in on a regular basis. You don't keep them waiting, whether you're going to email content to them, whether you're going to give them, whether they are your YouTube subscribers or whether they're looking at podcasts that you have created, whichever channel through which you're approaching your customers, ensure that you have content going to them. Because one of the important rules of copywriting is to keep that customer engaged throughout the life cycle. So you brought them into your hub, you brought them through your webinar. So you've got this excellent heading that has drawn him into your webinar. But after that, he doesn't see any content from you. How is he going to get to you? How is he going to trust you to be able to deliver what you promise? So the thing is that you keep him interested in you. You keep his interest alive. You keep him going. You keep the content going and make sure that it's interesting enough. So that's a very important thing that one should do, that you have content ahead of time, that you schedule your content on all your social media platforms. So whether, even if you have an emergency, your content is going out. Someone is not waiting for your content and not getting disappointed. So that's another important aspect of content marketing as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That was, too deep information on content marketing. And two more questions, Priya, before we, switch to the next question. About the keywords, which tool you use. I mean, do you also recommend a Google Keyword Planner or some other specific tool like you told about, any other paid tool you recommend? That is one part
Google,
of it.
Keyword Planner is a very good one. It's a good enough thing to go to. What I use is there's a blogger called Neil Patel, NEILPATEL. He has something called Uber Suggest, UBERSUGGEST. He has this platform. If you go there and you give a particular keyword, he gives you the industries, he gives you the names of your competitors and their websites. So you can go to their websites and you can also look at what headers that their headings. So you get topic headings from them. You also get the keywords for that particular industry that is doing well. A particular keyword is doing well. There are more hits on that particular keyword. So you get so much insight from just keying in a particular header or a keyword from Uber Suggest. So that's one other thing that I would recommend very, very highly.
Uber Suggest. And what about the frequency of posting a blog? I mean, it should be weekly or how?
As frequent as you can churn out content. I also advise people, see, blog is your basic. Okay, if people think that people are not reading blogs, I agree. Most people don't want to be reading long content. But the point is that blog is your basic. Without a written content, you can't create YouTube, you can't create podcasts, you can't do anything without the written content. So I advise my clients as well as advise the youngsters who are entering into this field to have that blog ready there. Okay, you have your blog, that's your basic. From there, you can easily convert it into a 3-minute YouTube. You can convert it into a podcast. You can convert it into a million other things if you have that
Right.
content ready. So your content, your blog is your basic, but don't think that that's it. You've used it once, you cannot rehash it. So that one content can be converted into several other pieces of content. So ensure that you actually ring it out. You get the best out of that one blog. So keep that blog of high quality, as many words as you can, 800 to 1200 words. We recommend 1200 words as a minimum. Today the long term blogs have become popular. So Neil Patel writes about 4,000, 5,000 words, but they're all very actionable, research oriented and actionable. So that's why he's very popular. So that's one other thing. And what you're doing now, this talk show, many people do podcasts where they have two people talking on a particular subject. So that's again become very, very popular. So yeah, that's.
Okay, awesome. By the way, thanks for sharing that hack with us that we can repurpose one blog content to
Yes.
other modes like
Yes.
podcast videos. Okay.
Yeah. So you take your blog and you record your voice, that becomes your podcast. So don't waste that one blog which you put in so much effort to write. And then if you have a 1200 word blog, you can convert it, take just the headings, speak for 2 minutes on each heading, that becomes your YouTube, right? So just the headers. In a YouTube is like just like something that's tempting people to come to your website. So it's more like a marketing tool. YouTube is only a marketing tool. So don't waste your breath in creating long YouTube videos. 5, 6, 7 minutes is great. So you can take one topic, the main 5 headings from there, and speak for 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Your YouTube video is done. So that's a very, very attractive way to rehash content and to continue using your content, right?
Okay, great. And Priya, can you please if you can share top 3 mentors, that you are learning from or you learn from, in your entrepreneur journey.
Neil Patel, as I was saying, is one of my favorites in the content marketing arena. Today, I'm actually working along with Siddharth Rajshekar, who's my mentor on the freedom lifestyle journey that I am on currently. And Jay Shetty, of course, is my favorite. I'm sure he's everybody's world over. I think he's everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
He's my favorite for everything else. Not my content marketing, not my freedom lifestyle, but I guess he inspires me. He inspires me on how to actually do my own work, because he seems very cool, casual, easy, and and I think that's a great approach to your own customers. The other thing that impresses me about Jay Shetty is that he has churn, he has content. You have something or the other that's so wonderful that becomes part of your Facebook feed all the time. So that's another very impressive thing about Jay Shetty. Yeah.
Okay. And we also see, most of these bloggers or content marketers are making mistakes as they, start their journey into this marketing industry. So, what are the few top mistakes that you see our content marketers doing, and how they can improve it?
Okay, so again, what they should be doing is what they're not doing. So, for instance, they're not doing enough research, and they don't know how to research. I wouldn't say that they're not doing research. I would say that they don't know how to research and how to look for the content from the appropriate channels. So, if you're reading somebody who's not the master, or who's not the top person in that particular field, then your research is not solid. So, not doing proper research, not doing proper audience analysis, and being lazy about content dissemination as well as content creation. If you're going to be lazy, then you're not going to make a mark. So you have to put in that effort. It may be tough, you may not be interested, but with time you will find that it becomes so interesting that you want to be writing all the time. You want to be engaging with your audience all the time. And the only way to create your own interest is actually not hesitate, but to be out there and engage with your audience. Today there are ever so many ways in which you can actually engage personally with your audience. Facebook Live is one such channel that boosts your own self-esteem, gives you a boost, gives you the power to continue on the journey. So I would encourage content writers to actually go out there, speak to the audience, and by speaking to them, you understand what your audience is looking for, and then addressing the needs of your audience. So that is again very important as a content marketer.
Yeah, I just saw your, Facebook live before this talk show.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
was actually waiting for you to come online. So I thought this
Yeah.
coronavirus thing has been on my mind for a very long time. What happens is that in my case, I just keep researching, I keep collecting information. That's again a big mistake, which I think I should advise people to not do, because if you have about 10 to 20 points, I think you should stop somewhere and actually create that content and get it out there. If you want to go on adding value, then as one of my mentors used to say, your version 1 is better than version none. So if you're not going to have something out there, then you're not growing. You're just stuck in a mire. I just want to give so much more out of. I want to give them so much more about industries that are currently not doing well, which will do well, which will, etc., about coronavirus. That I've been thinking about it for the last 1 week and I've not done anything about it. So that's again it's not a good. I would advise people against that trend. So yeah, right.
Okay, and thank you so much for being open about it. And about the platforms, what platforms actually you use to post content apart from
Oh,
social media?
I use very few, because I use very few because I believe my audiences are only in some places. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and podcasts. So these are I restrict myself to this. I don't go and this TikTok, they say, is one day going to become very popular. I'm not going into areas which I don't like TikTok as a platform, because of all the things that I see there, which don't interest me. And I'm sure my audience it is enough for me to find my audience within Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and podcast. So I'm happy with these 5 platforms.
Okay, got it. So this is for our viewers. I'll be dropping the link if you want to contact with Priya, understand her work better, and get in touch one to one. And with this, Priya, we come to the next segment of our talk show, that is rapid fire. Okay,
Right.
so I'll be asking a few questions with you, and you'll have to be quick answering. You can answer in a word, in a line. Okay, and let's see how it goes. So question number 1 is about your most hilarious moment in your live webinar.
In my live webinar, I actually have not had anything. No, I'm sorry. There's not been anything hilarious as yet. Live webinar is where are you talking about it? Interactive webinars
Yeah,
where
if not webinar, any client customer interaction you had, you thought that moment was something hilarious. If you can share with us.
Okay, actually, just recently, when I had not spoken about coronavirus, I had been speaking about something else, and somebody connected with me when I was doing a live on Facebook. Someone who had not visited the live feed connected with me on call, and he was anxious because he thought he had missed whatever I had to say. So this guy seemed to be so totally unaware of the fact that people had lost jobs, that so many had lost jobs. This is why I wanted to do this coronavirus thing. This happened 2 days ago. The guy spoke partly in Tamil. He was not very well educated, but I do interact with such people because I want to encourage them to take the first step forward. Okay, they may not jump into any great enterprise, but I want them. If they talk to me in Tamil and they are worried about something, then I would like to address their concerns. But this guy. Was the it was the first time he was hearing from me that people were losing jobs. Oh, appadingla. Oh, is that so? So you're telling me when we go back, many people will not have a job. Is that what you're telling me? So you're telling me tomorrow, even I may not have my job? Or you're saying that tourism and travel and everything will be affected. So this is what he asked me. While it was a little shocking, it was also an eye opener to me that uh, that there are so many people out there who need to be educated on the significance of what has happened because of the coronavirus. And I think people like you and I who are aware of this have to create more awareness. We assume that everybody knows the impact of this lockdown. We assume a lot of things. In talking to this fellow, it was a bit of an eye opener that there are many out there who are blissfully unaware. We have this thing in Tamil, that the cat, if it closes its eye and if it sleeps, the cat, he'll sleep very blissfully. If you've noticed, cats when they sleep, it's like nothing is happening around them. Where dogs are very alert, cats just sleep. So it seems they say, that they're thinking that the whole world is also sleeping. It's like Rip Van Winkle, when he slept and he woke up, the world had changed. It seemed like this guy was in a deep slumber and he did not know what was happening around him because he was in a lockdown. He was at home. But being so unaware of what the situation was currently and what it could be. So I mean, that was a bit of a shocker in a sense. Yeah.
Right. And it was a bit, funny also to know this. Next question in rapid fire is your 1 hour of daily meditation. Who do you listen to and what do you do?
Okay, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev in Coimbatore Isha Yoga Center is I'm a devotee of his. So I have done all his higher level programs as well. So I do a couple of his practices that takes me about half an hour, 45 minutes every day. Apart from that, I follow with this one person called Sri Akarshana, Akarshana. I do his practices for, he's very good with mindfulness meditation and, what's the other thing everyone is doing today? Manifestation, so
Okay.
I find that he's very, very effective. I find him to be very effective because he says, end of the day, whatever you may do, how much ever you want to manifest something in front of you, remember that who are you to choose? That you're not the one to choose. There is someone else who's making choices for you. So being aware that you've done your bit, but then there is somebody else, a higher purpose that is carving your life for you. He says that will help you become less attached to the outcome. So you do what you have to do without attachment to the outcome is what he kind of says, and I like him too. So these are the two people I follow diligently. Yeah.
Okay. And what are your top 3 podcasts that you spend time listening to?
Oh, yeah. The Jay Shetty's podcast I listen now and then. Neil Patel and Eric Su, they do podcasts together and they do podcasts individually as well. They're both content marketers. Neil Patel and Eric Su, ERICSU. So these are the 3 podcasts that I listen to often.
Okay.
Of
And
course, Siddharth now and then.
yeah, even I used to spend time with Sid's podcast.
Yeah.
And next question is just a hypothetical question because we are into rapid fire. Just imagine you wake up tomorrow and you see that all your customer list is gone. Okay, like Thanos snap. So what do you want to do then?
So we have actually come to that once or twice before. So what we do is we try to get these customers back. We look at ways to bring them back, entice them back to us. They don't leave us because our work has been bad. It's just that, sometimes they feel, okay, we've done enough. They come to us for PowerPoint presentations. They do 20, 30 PowerPoint PPTs and they are done with the work. So until they have something new, they don't come to us again. So we just keep them engaged. We keep them happy. We keep them engaged, try to get them back back to us. The other thing is that we keep trying to win new customers all our lives. So that's what we do. We don't panic. Important thing is not to panic.
Okay, yeah, that's the best takeaway. And I believe if you give proper value to your audience, no matter even your list is
Right.
disappear from your email marketing tool, they will come back to you. Okay.
Absolutely.
And Priya, what is your one mantra that keeps your tribe, your customer going?
Continuously provide value to my customers, my tribe, and encouraging my tribe to do the same. My constant request of my tribe is provide value to your customers and they will not leave you. If you continuously provide value to your customers, they're not going to leave. So that's the.
Definitely. That is the in one word, just provide value. Okay. Next question, I'll be sharing few words with you, and you'll have to tell me
Yeah.
what is that one word that pops into your mind
Yeah.
as you listen to them. Okay, so are you ready?
Yes, I am.
First word, Priya, is spirituality,
Essential.
a celebration,
Life.
a game changer,
Entrepreneurship.
freedom,
With responsibility.
risk,
Be a risk taker always. Sorry, I had to use more words.
it's okay, calmness,
Meditative.
perfection,
Strive for it.
growth,
Continuous.
and lifeline.
My family.
Okay, bang on. You were, able to answer all the rapid fire questions, especially the last one. All right. Thank you so much, for that. And before, wrapping up this, talk, few more questions because, I mean, since you're giving a lot of value to us with your experience. So if you can recommend our audience, at least one program that they should attend to at least once in their lifetime.
Millionaire Mind Intensive is a very high-end program. It has changed mindsets of many people. It's like that Strangest Secret video, Madhuri. That's a very good program to attend. Adds
Okay,
enormous value.
MMI from Success Game, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Harvekar's program, which is now being given by somebody else.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you one line, and you'll have to say that line first in English, then in Tamil. Okay?
Sure.
And the line is, dear folks, if you wish to have a freedom lifestyle, then please join my Facebook VIP group. Okay?
Do join my
Facebook VIP group.
Facebook VIP group. Dear folks, if you want to be a freedom entrepreneur and a digital leader, then do join my Facebook VIP group.
And now in Tamil.
மக்களே, நீங்களும் என்னை மாதிரி இந்த டிஜிட்டல் உலகத்தில் முன் வரணும் என்றால் என்னோட ஃபேஸ்புக் விஐபி குரூப்பை சேரவும். That was bad.
Okay. I hope our Tamil audience got it.
I hope so too.
Yeah. Okay. Last question for you. Please share one life advice for our viewers.
Every new day is an opportunity. Make that day count. Make your life on this planet worthy of praise by making a difference in the world. My life advice.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Priya, for hanging out with me and sharing your work and life experience. Although since we work together, so I always learn from you. But I thought our audience, especially my inner tribe members, should get same kind of value, especially when it comes to content marketing and blogging. So again, thank you so much, for
wonderful talking to you. Awesome.
Okay, great. So guys, with this, we come to the end of today's talk show. I hope you got the very good value, out of this discussion with Priya. I would love to, hear your comments and your top 3 takeaways, that you got from this interview. Okay. Till next interview. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you. Bye.